Adam Schefter reported yesterday that the three key 49ers players who were injured on Sunday in Cleveland, Trent Williams, ankle injury, who came back, and Kyle Shanahan said Monday that it's not a high ankle sprain. Deebo Samuel, who left early with a shoulder injury, X-rays negative, MRI apparently not negative either because or negative, not positive. I always hate that. Negative means positive. Positive means negative. MRI presumably negative because he's day-to-day with the shoulder. And then Christian McCaffrey, that was the one where they timed the MRI just right, so it was happening during Shanahan's press conference, so he didn't have to say what the results of the MRI were. But Schefter said all three aren't expected to have long-term injuries. I don't know what that really means, but Monday night, 49ers at Vikings, McCaffrey could play. And that's a huge deal for the 49ers because even though for most teams at running back, the drop from first string to second string isn't that great, if there's a significant drop, and all due respect to the backups in San Francisco, this isn't about you. It's about how great McCaffrey is. There's a pretty big drop-off there. And as they try to get back on track after losing to the Browns, it would be helpful to have Christian McCaffrey on Monday night in Minnesota because who knows, in Minnesota on a Monday night in prime time, it's loud. The Vikings are feeling a little bit better because they got a win on Sunday, and they know that they can't afford to have their fifth loss. And if they could somehow beat the 49ers, all of a sudden they're 3-4 and they're back kind of close to the thick of things. They need McCaffrey if they can have him Monday night. And what we're going to find out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the injury reports are going to tell us a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then Sunday, if he travels to Minnesota, then it looks like he'll be good to go.
Yeah, they say it's a pain tolerance issue with him, Mike. That tells me if that's what it is, then he's probably going to play.
He'll tolerate the pain.
Yeah, they have 2 games to get to their bye, the Vikings and then the Bengals this next Sunday, a week from Sunday. So if they get past those 2 games, then he gets some rest. Maybe, Mike, they dress him out and they pick their spots to use him. He's been used an awful lot so far this season, and he definitely needs some rest. So maybe it's a thing with him. You have him sort of on a pitch count when you try to protect him a little bit and put him in at key spots and maybe don't play him the whole entire game, and you see how the game goes and when you need him, and maybe you end up needing him more than you think, but at least you have him there in those big spots. But I do know that he's been used an awful lot already this season, and I do worry, is he going to be able to keep that up? Is he going to be fresh when they get to the postseason and they really need him in those big spots? So, maybe that's what you do with these guys a little bit, if you can, is pick your spots when to use them.
Tough balance for the 49ers because they have become a dominant team fueled by the fact that they have guys who will just go, and they'll fight for every blade of grass. And the problem is when you play that way over the course of a 17-game regular season, the chances of getting injured are higher. And it feels just like it's inevitable for the 49ers that they're going to run into a patch of injuries. And here it is. It happened the first game after they emerged as clearly the best team in the NFL. And they lost to the Browns by not having Deebo Samuel most of the game, not having McCaffrey for much of the game. That surely contributed to it. And that's the weakness. That's the Achilles heel for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see if they have all their best players back on Monday night. One little thing that I noticed about the 49ers, they have had the habit of staying in the East Coast when they have 2 games here, Cleveland, Minnesota. Yeah. And Kyle Shanahan explained earlier this week, because the Minnesota game's Monday night, that allowed them to go all the way home and then travel to Minnesota, presumably on Sunday. But that's, you see that from time to time. If a guy's questionable, you get the word that he didn't travel, there's your sign that he's not going to play. Or if he does travel, that's your indication that he will play. So that's the big question heading into Monday night's game. Will the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey? And even if they don't, they should be able to beat the Vikings on Monday night. We'll see how that goes. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.